Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Amid the information overload, it may help, even at the risk of reductionism, to have a super distillation of the advice on how to live life. So, as a thought experiment, I reflected on my 1,538 How to Do Life articles on Psychology Today to identify what, for each of life's 7 core components, is the single idea that has been most helpful across the 5,700 career and personal advising clients I've had the privilege of serving. And here they are. My idea regarding career, I call this musts more than passion. More than following their passion or even using their core skills or degrees, my clients have been most likely to find career contentment by pursuing work that meets as many of the following career attributes as possible: decent pay, reasonable commute, good boss and coworkers, ethical work, and learning opportunities. And those are more likely to be found away from the madding crowd that are fighting for the few such good jobs in fields that many people are passionate about: sports, music, the environment, fashion, and politics. Now my tip on relationships. I call this accept or leave. As any psychotherapist or relationship counselor knows, foundationally changing a person is tough. More often, romantic partners and even close platonic friends are wise to, work on some self-improvement like reducing or eliminating substance abuse, being neater around the house, and listening better, but more to accept each other's fundamental nature, for example, their sex drive, work ethic, intelligence, and level of focus. If you find a person's foundational characteristics anathema, maybe after a bit of effort at improvement, it may be wise to cut your losses. There are many fish in the sea, and sometimes swimming solo is wisest of all. Now my tip regarding money. Save on housing and on higher education. By far, those are most people's largest expenses, and fortunately, there are ways to save big on both with little or no decrement to your life. Regarding housing, one way to save a fortune is to buy or rent in a dicey neighborhood. With just reasonable precautions, you're just about as safe as in a neighborhood that can cost vastly more. Over a lifetime, the savings can easily be in 6 if not 7 figures. Regarding higher education, yes, brand name matters, but that must be viewed only as a plus, not a dispositive factor. Sure, if you can get into Harvard or Stanford, you probably should go. But otherwise, as an undergraduate, starting and maybe finishing in a community college, maybe even going to community college after you finish your bachelor's, and by the way, community colleges have instructors that are hired and promoted mainly on teaching, not on their arcane research productivity like at universities. Getting that education at a community college can get you a better education at much lower cost. Yes, a degree from a community college or from no-name state university may require you to make more effort to land a good job, but that effort can well be worth the fortune in savings on higher ed expenses. Now my tip on emotional health. Easy tips can be thought through, processed to use the jargon, but most emotional problems that send people to the therapist are quite recalcitrant. Of course, severe mental illness should be addressed by a professional, but garden variety anxiety and angst may well be addressed by suppression. After briefly considering if there is a solution, it may be best to distract yourself. Instead of self-absorption, focus on your work, on helping others, on your creative outlet, and so on. Doing that tends to atrophy the mental neurons associated with the thoughts that are causing anxiety. I have not found the adage true that suppression of worries results in only short-term benefit, that like the game whack-a-mole at the county fair, if you push down one problem, 2 pop up elsewhere. Now I want to turn to physical health. My tip there is about diet. 95% of dieters gain all the weight back and often more, and yo-yoing is dangerous. Unless you're morbidly obese, it may be wise to accept the weight your body seems to want to be, its so-called set point. Yes, try to moderate your eating, but forgive yourself the occasional cheat. You'll probably end up healthier and happier. not caught between the Scylla and Charybdis of feeling deprived or feeling guilt-ridden. Now my tip regarding recreation. Too many people's core recreations involve alcohol and drug abuse. I so wish that more of them would find their pleasure in creative outlet, whether acting, music, art, writing, comedy, magic, whatever, solo or as part of a team. And even if you're not creative, a behind-the-scenes role such as being stage manager for a community theater, or researcher for an author, or crew assistant on a sailboat, or roadie for a band can be great fun without violating your body. And finally, my tip around the life well led. I will admit that my own behavior is extreme. I work 70 hours a week and wouldn't have it any other way. And I do it because I've become convinced that the life well led is about maximizing contribution. Of course, I enjoy watching movies, I enjoy playing ball, I enjoy hanging out as much as the next person. But I force myself for said 60 to 70 hours a week, to prioritize contribution over pleasure. While it's unrealistic of me to expect most of you to do the same, I couldn't talk to you about my top tips without mentioning that one. And those are my top 7. Are there any that you would like to add to your list of those 7, or you want to include some of your top ones in the comment section below? Or feel free to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. To hit the share button and share on your social media, and or subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.